Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi to everyone. Thank you for watching this video. So welcome back to CSC 520. We are still in the principle of operating system class. So the next topics that we'll discuss in this video is about the system services. Okay, system services that, under the operating system. So each the system program provide a convenient environment for the program development and execution. Mean when you have the software or applications, the system uh provide the environment for your application or program to develop as well as to execute. So they can be divided into the file manipulation, status information, sometimes stored in a file based on the details information, like dates, modification time, and so on. And then file modification, programming language support, the program loading and execution, communications, background services, and application programs. So those the eight things or eight items here basically is what you face or what you did with your computer system. So most users views the operation system is defined by system program and not the actual system call. Okay, uh, we can see what are the system calls, but we can feel it about the uh, feel or view the system program because we play around with this file manipulation, need to know the status, downloaded, uploaded, and so on, store where we store the data. Okay, and then we deal with the file modification, uh, the programming that support your computer system, the execution process, the loading process, communication, background services, and application program. So we deal with this kind of things that we are what we can say that most of us as the users, we see the operating system is based on the system program, not the actual system call, because system call is quite is hidden from the user's perspective of the views of the users. Okay. So it provide the convenient environment for the program development as well as the execution process. Some of them are simply user interfaces to the system calls, and other are considerably more complex. So it's referred to the system services. Okay, we look at the first item. We have the file management. So using this part, we used to create, delete, copy, rename, print dump list, and is in this part is the activities that we as the user always did when we play around with the file in our computer. The system second is about the status information. Okay, like date, time, amount of memory storage that available, already being used, numbers of file in one folder, for example, that is status information. So it's also provide details, performance, the logging, the debugging information. Then about the format and print output to the terminal or output devices. So this one involve the output devices. For example, your monitor. Monitor is the output devices that keyboard is your input device. Okay, something like that you need to remember. So some system implement a registry. So registry a part of the memory. So it used to store and retrieve the configuration information. Okay. when you learn about the operating system, you will meet with this kind of term: registry, registrar. This is a part of the memory device, means a part of the memory system. In our memory system, we have one block that we call as the registry. When you learn about the microprocessor, you may learn more about the registry and how the process of instruction being passed from one registry to another registry. And okay, never mind. Okay, then we proceed to the next part is about the file modifications. So text editors to create and to modify the file, special command to search content for the file or perform transformation of the text. So this part refer to the modification of your file inside your computer system. Number 4, we have the programming language support, compiler, assembler, debuggers, interpreter, and sometimes provide. So these are the things that supports based on the OS. Okay, the next one we have the program loading and execution. So loader, relocatable loader, linkage editors, overlay debugging system, and for high level machine language. Okay, this one for the programming part. And then we have the communication. So this part provide the mechanism, provide the platform for creating the visual connection among processors, users, and computer. Okay, sometimes when you try to develop some a mobile application, for example, then you need the emulator. So these are based under the communication. So allows the user to send message to another screen. Okay. And then browse web pages, send email, remotely log in to another PC, transfer from one file from one machine to other machine. Okay. It's allowed. When you look back at your PC, go to the file management part or go for the computer management, then you can see the part of the communication under the device manager. And then we have the background services. So launch at boot time when you boot your PC, then some for the system startup, then terminate, and some from the system boot to shut down. So this part for the launch of the boot time. And then provide facilities like this: checking, scheduling, logging error, and printing. And then run in user context, not the kernel context. Okay, at the first chapter, we learn about two parts. We have the user and we have the kernel. So for the background services, this one is used or run in the user context. And it's also known as the services subsystem daemon. So if you use the window, okay, you can go to the my computer. Okay, you can go to the my computer. You can right click and then you click on the manage part in order to see the computer management part. And then at that windows, okay, you can look at the services and application. So those are the services that run in the background. Okay, click on the services and application and then you will find the services. Okay, these services, it can be auto and it also can be manual, so depends on setting. Okay, the next part we have the application program. So it's run by the user. Any application that you run through your operating system. So your application application program is not a part of the operating system. It's standalone, means you download the installer and then you install it. So it's not considered as your OS. And launch by the command line, mouse click or finger, depends on this one refer to the touch screen, or maybe you can use the gesture. It depends on the device that you play around. Okay, launch by command line. Maybe if you develop a application using the Python or Java, you can use this command line, or you can just double click on the icon in order to open your application program. Okay, so the next part we continue on the operating system design and implementations. Don't worry, I don't ask you to develop your own operating system, but we just learn about the design and implementation of the current operating system. So design and implementation of the operating system is not solvable, okay, but some approach have proven successful. Internal structure of the different operating system can vary widely. So you can't assume that the Windows operating system have the same structure or internal structure with the Linux, because they might be different. And start the design by defining the goals and specification. What are the goals that you want to achieve when you design the operating system? Get affected by choice of hardware and type of system. So hardware also play the important role when you want to design or run or execute your operating system. So user goals and system goal are different. Okay, so user goals refer to the operating system should be convenient to use. What you prefer? What's your preference towards the OS? Is the what we call is the goals that for the user, because we are the users. So whatever we feel good, so it's refer to the user's goal. Okay, in this section, operating system should be convenient to use. Okay, usability of the operating system, easy to use, easy to understand, easy to learn, safe and fast. I believe most of the users are not happy if you play around with the system that lag and then not secure, easy for the others to hack to your PC, and quite slow. Okay, so that is my view as the user. Yeah, my view as the user, I love to have the system that easy for me to learn, to use, and use symbols that very familiar to expect. Okay, that's from the user goals. Another part is about the system goal. So operating system should be easy to design. In terms of the system, easy to design. Okay, the complicated system quite hard to maintain. Okay, easy to design, implement, and maintain. Okay, the same thing goes when you create your program later on, or your application in the other subject or in your final FYP project. So you must make sure that your application is easy to design and easy to implement, as well as to do the maintenance part. Okay, so it should be flexible, reliable, error free, and efficient. So these are the difference between the user goals and the system goals. The next part, specifying and designing the OS in highly creative tasks of the software engineering. What is software engineering? Okay. Anything that come with the word engineering mean that is the process of development. So software engineering means process of development, the software. So general principle, policy, mechanism, and implementation based on the design of your OS. What is policy and mechanism? Okay, policy, what need to be done? Example, interrupt after 100 seconds. That is the policy. What is the mechanism? So the mechanism, how to do something. Mechanism is a platform or method to do something. Policy is the rule, something like that. So important principle, separate policy from the mechanism. Because policy is what need to be done. Mechanism is how to do it. Okay. So the separation of the policy from the mechanism is a very important principle in the designing of your OS. So it's allow maximum flexibility if policy decision are to be changed later. So example, change 100 to 200. Next is about the implementation. Okay, implementation of the OS is much variations. So earlier operating system in the assembly language. In the assembly language is the earlier of the operating system. So you task, you can identify the earlier operating system that being existed in the world. Then system programming language like Algol, PL/1, and now we have the C and C++. So this one is the earliest during those time, and this is the currently, and might be in the future we have a new language. Okay, we don't know. So actually, usually a mix of language, lowest level in the assembly language, main body in the C, system program in C, C++, and then mix with the scripting language like Perl, Python, and Shell scripts. So this is the language that being used in order to create the operating system. And more high level language easier to port to other hardware but slower. Yeah, rather than this language, we still have the higher level language. However, the process will slower your operating system. Okay, and then emulation can allow an OS to run a non-native hardware. This one that I talk about, the emulator. Okay, the next part is about the operating system structure. But in this part, I will discuss on the others video. So that's all for now. Thank you and assalamualaikum.